To end off our section on fractions, we're going to look at sharing with fractions. And these are situations where you aren't sharing things evenly, where two people are getting half each. This is where you're sharing according to how much you've contributed. So if we look at this story, Alex, Sam and Riley contribute 3 Rand, 8 Rand and 4 Rand respectively towards buying a box of chocolates. If there are 45 chocolates in the box, how many chocolates should they each get? So as we can see, they've each contributed different amounts. We know that. Now let's look at the word respectively. Respectively means the way that I've named the people, the order in which I've named the people, corresponds to the order in which I've named the amounts that they've contributed. So in other words, Alex contributed 3 Rand, Sam contributed 8 Rand, and Riley contributed 4 Rand. So what do we know here? We know what they each contributed. Do we know what the box of chocolates actually cost? Does it tell us that directly anywhere? And the answer to that is no. But can we work out what the box of chocolates cost? Well, if we know what they each contributed, that's going to be fairly easy to say Alex's contribution plus Sam's contribution plus Riley's contribution, and that's going to give us 15 Rand. So once you've worked out what the total of the contributions is, then you're able to proceed, because now we're going to create fractions out of that. If Alex only paid 3 Rand towards the 15 Rand box of chocolates, doesn't it make sense that Alex gets 3/15 of the chocolates? And let's look at Sam. Sam contributed 8 Rand, so surely he's going to get 8/15 of the chocolates. And Riley contributed 4 Rand, so Riley's going to get 4/15 of the chocolates. Now we need to think of what we're saying. I keep saying of the chocolates, but remember there were 45 chocolates. So instead of saying of 45, I'm going to say times 45. And because this is starting to look so much like multiplication of fractions, which we've just done, I'm going to write the 45 over 1, just to solidify in my mind the fact that the 45 actually belongs to the numerator. He's going to get 8/15 of the 45 chocolates, and Riley's going to get 4/15 of the 45 chocolates. So once I've set that up, I'm just about home and dry. So if I look now at what's happening, it is multiplication of fractions. So if I look this way, as soon as there's a 1, there's never any point in dividing anything by 1, because then it just stays the same. So in other words, that diagonal can't be simplified at all. If we look at 15 and 45, what's probably jumping out in your mind is that 5 can go into 15 and 5 can go into 45. But remember, we're looking for the highest common factor, otherwise we have to cancel again. And I've been encouraging you in the past few videos to think in 15s, count in 15s. And if we think about it, 15, 30, 45. So 15 does go into 45. 15 goes into itself once, into 45 3. I'm going to end up doing the same thing with all of them. Now, as soon as you see that your denominators have only got 1s remaining, 1 times 1 is 1, so it's going to be something over 1. And remember also from previous videos, anything over 1 means that thing divided by 1, which actually just means the number that's in the numerator. So we're not even going to bother to go through the step of writing something over 1 and then rewriting it. So the denominators we don't need to write down. And Alex is going to get 3 times 3, which is 9 chocolates. Sam is going to get 8 times 3, which is 24 chocolates. And I wouldn't mind getting Sam's share, that's for sure. And Riley's going to get 4 times 3, which is 12 chocolates. And there we have our answer. And the beauty of this is that with these kinds of problems, you can always work out straight away whether you've got the correct answer or not. And if you haven't got the correct answer, you can go back and look for a little mistake that you've made along the line. So how are we going to find out whether these numbers are correct or not? Well, you should remember that we had 45 chocolates to start off with, so these should actually add up to 45. So let's just do a quick check. 9 and 4 is 13, and 2 is 15. Carry the 1, and that gives me 3 plus 1 is 4, and I do get 45, which is the correct number of chocolates. The last thing I want to say about these kind of calculations is that through all my years of experience, I've seen in classes and with individuals, as soon as I say the words word problem or story sum, there's a look of panic, there's gasps and oh, and all sorts of noises coming out of my students' mouths, and the looks on their faces are looks of horror. Don't think of them as word problems. Think of them as everyday situations. And if you try to put yourself into the situation that the story is telling you about, you'll find that if you were in a real life situation, you could actually work that out. So try to think of it like that, and let's try and get past the block of word problems. And in the future, I'll try to put more up to give you more tips on how to get around them. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it was helpful.